You knew it was gonna happen. You fucking knew it was gonna fucking happen. That match was gonna end that way. You knew it was going to happen. And it fucking happened. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. And tonight I'm going to be giving you guys the results from Hell in a Cell 2021 tonight. You knew. We all knew it was going to happen. I believe I said that MVP was going to get involved at some point. And it fucking happened. I'll be talking about that a little later on. But the card was updated as of this past Friday night on Smackdown. And we'll be getting to that here in a second. But first off, I do want to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I'm not even going to say anything else. Just Happy Father's Day. I guess technically truth be told, I don't even know what it's like to have a father anymore. Now, I know I'm 24 right now, but that being said, Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Let's get things started with the Kickoff Show, which was actually announced earlier today on social media as Natalya, one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions, went up against Mandy Rose in a match that was not only based on respect, but based on who wanted the tag team titles more. And tonight, it was a it was a match that none of us will ever forget. But of course too, it was a back and forth matchup. But of course, in the end, Natalya made Mandy Rose tap out to the sharpshooter to win her match on the Kickoff Show. Hell of a match, by the way. Much respect to both women, but in the end, Natalya went away with a W. Experience. Speaking of experience, we move on to the first of two Hell in a Cell matches that were on the card. This one was for the Smackdown Women's Championship to kick off Hell in a Cell as Bianca Belair defended against Bayley. And it's interesting because this match was based on respect, honor, and championship aspirations. This was a very hard-fought match. Hard-fought, absolutely fucking brutal. And I mean that literally, like, just brutal. Absolute brutal. And if you guys have been following me on Instagram, I posted non-stop throughout the whole night. And when I posted the Kickoff Show, I said, let hell be unleashed. Tonight, hell was unleashed. Not just back and forth action between Bayley and Bianca Belair, but in the end, Bianca Belair hit Bayley with the KOD, or she calls it the kiss of death, on a ladder to retain the SmackDown Women's Championship. Her first Hell in a Cell, she killed it. She killed it easily, and I think she's going to be SmackDown Women's Champion for a long time, for as long as she wants it. So, with that being said, next up we have Seth Rollins versus Cesaro, and a rivalry that is again based on respect. And Seth Rollins has proved that he has none for Cesaro, which honestly doesn't really surprise me. Given the fact that Seth Rollins was always a man of respect. Over the years, Seth Rollins was always a man of respect, but as was Cesaro. Cesaro was always a man of respect, and these two guys beat the hell out of each other. But Seth Rollins got fucking lucky. I'm saying it now. He got lucky. He got fucking lucky by rolling up Cesaro to win that matchup. It was luck. It was luck. I'm not even gonna say anything more. Just pure fucking luck. And now we move on to a match that's bizarre. You think Hell in a Cell is bizarre? This was as bizarre can get. Alexa Bliss, Shayna Baszler. This was all based on the fact that Shayna Baszler called Lily a stupid doll.
Yeah, not sure how to explain that any further, but here's what I find so bizarre. Every time Shayna Baszler used joint manipulation, bending the fingers, the wrists, the elbows, Alexa Bliss laughed. It was as if she was enjoying the pain. And shockingly enough, she enjoyed the pain. But there was a moment in the match, the closing moments of the match, Nia Jax looked into the eyes of Alexa Bliss and literally mimicking everything that Alexa Bliss was doing, and even slapping Reginald down to the floor and forcing Nia to do her primal scream, if you will. And that gave Shayna Baszler the chance to hit the Kirifuda clutch on Bliss, but it backfired because obviously, knowing Bliss, she's very crafty in the ring, and she was able to hit Shayna with a DDT on Shayna and then hit her with Twisted Bliss to pick up the victory. I don't even know how bizarre this rivalry will get, but it's gonna be bizarre. But if you want bizarre, let's just be real here. I'm saying it now. Sami Zayn is a fucking nutcase. I'm saying it. I said it. Do not at me in the comments. Sami Zayn is a fucking nutcase, buying into the delusion that management is conspiring against him. What the hell? Who the fuck says that nowadays? Seriously, who says that nowadays? Sami Zayn is buying into that delusion, and Kevin Owens knows that better than anybody because he and Sami Zayn have been friends, teammates, whatnot for the latter part of well over 2 decades. They even went to each other's weddings at one time. And the rivalry still continues. Sami Zayn was able to somehow get lucky and defeat Kevin Owens with a haluva kick to pick up the victory. But one thing that I should note is that if you guys remember this past Friday night on Smackdown, Kevin Owens was hit with a Nigerian nail by Commander Aziz because of the distraction from Sami Zayn. That being said, his wrist was also injured as well. So now begs the question, with this victory over Kevin Owens, is there really closure for Sami? The answer is no. There will never be any closure until the conspiracies are over, which I don't even there is no conspiracy. Let's just be real. There's no conspiracy. But if you want to talk about conspiracies, this one is probably these next two are probably the biggest ones of them all. Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, the Raw Women's Championship, very hard fought. And I want to take you guys back to last year's WrestleMania. Let's go back to last year's WrestleMania to kick off night 2. To kick off night 2 of WrestleMania last year inside the Performance Center, Charlotte Flair made Rhea Ripley tap out to the figure 8 to win her second NXT Women's title. Fast forward to tonight, we all thought that history would repeat itself. But no, history did not repeat itself, as well. Rhea Ripley was able to get disqualified by hitting Charlotte Flair with the thing that goes on top of the on top of the announcer's desk. I don't know what that's called, but we'll call it a piece of wood. We'll call it a piece of wood. Rhea Ripley hit Charlotte Flair with that piece of wood, and she got disqualified. But of course, when they went back into the ring, Rhea Ripley hit Charlotte Flair with Riptide, and she walked out. So even though Charlotte Flair won by disqualification, Rhea Ripley is still the Raw Women's Champion, and I have no doubt in my mind this rivalry is far from done. Far from done. I knew. Now, this one, I knew it. We knew MVP at some point was going to get involved. And he fucking did. Bobby Lashley defended the WWE title against Drew McIntyre for the final time. This was Drew's last opportunity at the WWE title. If he lost, he would no longer challenge for the title so long as Lashley is champion. And what happened? Lashley retained. How? Because of MVP. Just as McIntyre was about to hit Lashley with a Claymore. MVP. Because Lashley pushed McIntyre into the referee that was in the cell with them, Chad Patton, and the official that was guarding the door, Eddie Orrego, I believe was his name, went into the cell, and MVP went into the cell with them, and it backfired on MVP for the most part, as McIntyre did beat the hell out of MVP. But it backfired on McIntyre in the end. Because as McIntyre was about to hit Lashley with a Claymore, MVP grabbed onto the leg of McIntyre, which allowed Bobby Lashley to roll up McIntyre, grab the tights, and he retained the WWE title. We knew that MVP was going to get involved, and now Lashley is still champion, and McIntyre can no longer challenge for the WWE Championship, which begs the question, what's next for Drew McIntyre? Because now, all that momentum that McIntyre had since winning the Royal Rumble, not this past January, but last year in 2020, up until now, it's gone. It's all gone. All the momentum is gone because of MVP. Now, again, which begs the question, what does the future hold for McIntyre? Keep in mind, even though he can't challenge, he can no longer challenge for that title, there are still other titles that he can go after, like perhaps the Raw Tag Team titles, maybe perhaps the United States Championship if he wanted to, or if he wanted to, he could go to SmackDown, challenge Roman Reigns for the Universal title. I mean, it is a high possibility, but honestly, this card was pretty stacked. I will admit it was stacked for the most part. I'll probably end up going a little more in depth with this card on tomorrow's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. I think I might. I'm still debating. But if I end up changing the subject, it's probably because I really don't care to. It's probably because I already got in depth with the card tonight. But again, you never know with the channel. But guys, that is gonna do it for this video. Question of the day: what are your guys' thoughts on the main event? And where do you see Drew McIntyre going from here now that he is no longer able to challenge for the WWE title? Let me know in the comments below. And that is going to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button if you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more pay-per-view and NXT TakeOver result videos in the future. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you guys do not miss out on any new content that comes your way. And be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. All the links way down in the description. And if you guys have fan mail that you want to send me and want me to open up on the channel, my address will also be in the description below. And on that, this is your boy Nash signing out. And happy Father's Day, everybody.